Thank you guys. It's been a rough year. You guys are well aware of, a lot of you were here for the Lost Eyes concert, but I shared a little bit about this, but it's been a pretty rough year. And with Gene's passing and my father learning that he has lung cancer, and he's doing pretty good physically. I mean, you know, the tumor is shrinking, but mentally, you know, he's just in really a dark place. And I dedicated my solo record to him and sent it in the mail because I got it like the day I was going to leave to come out here. And so I had 2 copies of it, and I was hoping that I would be able to get back and give it to him in person and that whole thing. But I thought, you know, you never know what tomorrow's going to bring. And so I sent it out to him, and I got to talk to my wife this morning, and she said that Mom called and she was crying, and that Dad got the record and opened it up and saw the dedication. It's the first time that I specifically made it to him, and it just said, you know, this is dedicated to Dad. I love you, Dad. He wept, and he's a guy that's a pretty dark person, struggled all his life, knows a little bit about the faith, and wants to love Jesus, but has a hard time, you know, just getting out of a dark place in his life. So anyway, I'd appreciate your prayers on his behalf. There are a lot of people praying for him, and, you know, we're more than just a band and you guys the fans, but, you know, we're people that love the Lord and believe that he can turn a hard heart towards him. And so if you would do that, I know you guys are probably asked to pray for a lot of things, but if it comes to mind, you know, you might do that. And I've learned this year more than anything that the number one thing in my life, and I think for all of us, that God wants in our lives is intimacy with Jesus. And I don't think it comes by getting rich. I don't think it comes from possessing material things so that we can say, well, you know, we're being magnanimous and giving it to other people. I think it comes a lot of times, and I know maybe there's even some people that are going to react to this in a weird way, but it comes through suffering. I think it's a cross that we've picked up, and I think that when Paul talked about, you know, God's strength being made perfect in weakness, I think was a serious thing. And I've just seen that a lot of times the suffering in my life is in direct proportion to the intimacy that I have with Christ. You know, even if we feel cowardly in doing it, but in that moment of when everything's kind of coming down on us, we cling to him, and we begin to hear the still small voice. And we go, oh yes, this is what it was about all along. This is what it first was, you know, knowing Jesus. And you know, a lot of the bands around our time, and we've been accused sometimes of sort of, you know, serpentining around the gospel message. And I don't think it was ever our intention. I mean, I feel that as far as our calling and our desire to serve people, you guys have responded in incredible ways where God has said something to you through a song that we've done, which is a miraculous thing in itself, and that you get it, and that the Spirit of God says something to you, not apart from his word, but uses a band like ours, a little rock band that's been around for 20 whatever years, to say something to you. And that's what it's really all about. And in the end, it's that intimacy with Christ. And if no one prays for suffering, you don't say, oh God, let me suffer. You pray, God, your will be done in my life. And if that package includes suffering in this life, then praise be to God for that. Because that takes us to a place of clinging to Christ and opening us up in the circumstances, begin to hear his voice, and to be disciples and to be true to him as he's true to us, faithful to us even when we're unfaithful. So anyway, there's my little pontification. But anyway, this is called Zoom Daddy. This is about going home. This not Zoom, Daddy. What am I talking about?